Hello, 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 and welcome to Stamp with Shel. My name is Shel Anderson, and I am an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator located in Winnipeg, Manitoba, Canada. Welcome to the Night Angels Global Video Hop. We are a group of Stampin' Up! Demonstrators who come together monthly to bring you creative ideas showcasing Stampin' Up! Products. Today I am going to be showcasing the Perennial Postage and Painted Lavender bundles. These are new bundles that are in the new January to April mini catalog. And I made a card that I was going to showcase for this video. And I'm going to show you that card here in a moment. But then I thought, you know, when these papers are gone and we can't order them anymore, what's an alternate way that I can use this bundle? So this is the original card that I made, that I was going to make for this video. Very simple, very beautiful, uses the postage dies, the purple gems, the pretty peacock and gold ribbon, and the DSP from the lovely lavender bundle. So I wanted to change it up, step it up, and show you something different today. So I have done some pre-cutting, and these are my colors for today: basic white, native navy, and bubble bath. I've also brought in the carryover navy and gold glittered ribbon from the fall catalog. I've die cut a whole bunch of little pieces here. The ink colors we'll be using today is Misty Moonlight and Bubble Bath. And I also brought in the Bee Punch. So I've probably got you totally confused with that one. But we're going to get started, and we're going to work on our focal image. So what I wanted to do was just bring in a bit of color, I guess you could say. I'm just grabbing a blending brush here. Make sure that there's nothing coming off that one. All right. And I'm just going to highlight this a little bit, just to take a little bit of the white off. And I'm using the Bubble Bath ink pad, and starting off the paper. And I don't want a whole lot of noticeable color, so to speak. I just want to take a little bit of the starkness off, and you can work on it and figure out what works for you. But I think that is just going to take a little bit of that white off, and that was with the Bubble Bath ink pad and a blending brush. All right, so now I have all of these fabulous die cuts. And we are just going to try to mimic that gorgeous DSP, but also create something fabulous on our own. So I'm just going to dry fit the pieces to start with. And I cut these from a piece of DSP that was in my scrap bin. This is paper from the annual catalog. This is what it looked like. And on the back side, it was this lavender color. So I thought we'll use that pattern to our advantage. So we have some of those. And then I pre-stamped some of these and glued them together. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this one down on dimensionals. if I can find some. There's some minis. We're going to need those, but we're also going to need some regular. All right. I'm going to put this one down on dimensionals first, just to get us started. And then we'll start building around this one piece. Actually, before I do that, I've pre-done the greeting, and there's where I used the bee punch. I needed a little heart. So I'm going to put this up in this corner right off the hop. And that way we're not going to get to the end and not have a space for our greeting. So I'm just going to put it right tight up in that corner and set that in place. All right, now let's, pardon me, there we go. Let's put that one there. And let's do one more of these with the dimensionals. And that's going to allow us to tuck the greenery or the bluery in around it. Right, so we can just lift that up and that will tuck down in behind. So we're going to do that with this one right off the hop. And yes, it may be a little controversial to use navy for leaves, but there's no rules in paper crafting, my friends. No rules. So I'm just gently lifting those up, so I didn't press down on those dimensionals. They're just setting in place. And this little guy is going to tuck in there and go up onto that greeting tag and fill that area in. And yes, we're protruding over the sides a little bit. That's okay. And this one, we're going to lift up this side and tuck this one underneath. Maybe. Have a dimensional in the way. There we go. See how that fills in? Now this one up here, I'm going to cut this one down. I don't think it needs to be this big. So I'm just going to snip this off there. Actually, this one might work better. Just want to round that leaf a little bit. Ah, look at that. That'll be perfect. So we'll get some adhesive on that and tuck that in. There we go. Now, I think this one I'm going to tuck in here just to give it a little something something right in there. And that's the beauty of these things. You can just make them do what you want them to do. Now I'm going to put a little bit of glue on the back of this. There we go. I'm all sticky, so it must be okay. All right, now let's get rid of some of these dots. Let's add some of this beautiful. I'm going to snip this end off. That looks better. And we're just going to cut some off this one. And I'm going to put that one right down the middle there. And yes, I'm going to leave the top of it so it gives that 3D effect. We don't want everything glued flat. And then we'll do another one right up here. We're going to tuck it in behind. Beautiful. Some glue on there. Tuck that down in. And that one too has the top protruding out. One more. I think we're going to leave this one whole. Had so much fun stamping and cutting out all these little pieces. I only had one little problem. I'm going to confess my sins. You'll probably see it here. I thought I was grabbing the soft seafoam ink pad and I stamped them, and I used lemon lime twist. A little bit bright for what we were going for today. All right. There we have all of that stuff. Now, I have made 2 bows using the navy and gold glittered ribbon, and I'm going to put them down here just to cover up this area. And I decided to do 2 different size bows so I could know which one I wanted. So I'm going to be using the larger one, but I'm going to wait to put that on, I think. Maybe not. Maybe not. Yeah, I think I'll put it just like that. And I think that'll work. I'm not going to trim those off. I thought I might trim some of those off, but I'm not going to. We're going to put some adhesive on the back side of this. And we are going to layer that on this gorgeous Night of Navy panel. Just like so. Isn't that pretty? See how that's coming together? All right, now I have this very, very, oops, that doesn't look like I had a little smudge on the back. There, that looks better. And it's not scored evenly or something here. Let me get my paper trimmer for a second and see what's happening here. Aha, you see that? It's a little uneven. And I just made a mess. There we go. That looks better. All right. Let's flatten out. That's a little tip for you right there. You know how sometimes when you make cuts with your paper trimmer, they leave those little ridges? Just use your bone folder and press that out. All right. right, this one is also going flat because this, with all the bits that we just glued onto the front, it's a pretty thick card. I'm thinking I want to add a couple more of those. That's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking it's lacking a little bit. So let's see what I can do. I'm going to put some glue on here. There is our first one. We'll tuck that under and we'll let that go right up over the top. Now this one we're going to fill in here. And I may be able to tuck. I'm going to trim a little bit off. And then we will tuck this under there and going out that way. All right, have one hole left to fill. I just got to be careful not to go too high with that one because I don't want to interfere with my greeting. Or do I want it here? What do I want to do with that? I think I want it down here. There we go. Now we need some glue dots so that we can put this bow on. This ribbon is so, so pretty. All right, let's get this bow on here. Isn't that pretty? Grab some ribbon scissors and we'll trim these tails down, and I'm going to let it trail down over the edge of the card a bit because I can. But I am going to grab a paper piercer and a glue dot, and I am going to put those tails where I want them so that they're secure. We'll grab one more. There we go. So far, so good, eh? All right, let's put these bits away. You'll see I have this die out here. I was going to put all these pieces on and then I was going to cut off the excess by putting it through the machine again, but I changed my mind. This is a work in progress. All right, now I found this little container of little half gold beads when I was cleaning on the weekend. And these are from my scrapbooking days way back when. And I thought that we could put these on this card to coordinate with the sparkle that we have right there. What do you think? I think it's going to be fine. I'm going to change glue bottles because I want a super fine dot. Come on. Don't tell me you're clogged. There we go. All right. just a little dot right there. And then we'll press this in place. Where'd that paper piercer go? There's one. Oops. Wrong end. There's two. Let's do this last fellow over here. Oops. Let go of my, I got glue on my finger. There we go. All right. I think that is our card. And this is the card that I was originally going to make that has inspired it. So there's our original with the purple gems and the DSP. And here's the one that I made for when the DSP is gone. And you can see they're exactly the same card, just the dimension, and I used the dies in this one. So let me know which one's your favorite. I think they're both gorgeous. And I encourage you to check the description in my video, and you will get the links for all the other Stampin' Up! Demonstrators who are participating in this global Night Angels blog hop. Or sorry, video hop. Check out their videos, leave them some comments, give them some love, and be inspired. Thanks for stopping by. Bye-bye.